Welcome, watch fans, to Watch Fashion. Thank you for tuning in today. Today, we have a real treat lined up for you. Today, we're joined by the team from Chronoswiss, Oliver Ebstein, the CEO and Global Director and owner of Chronoswiss, is joining us live today, as well as Massimiliano Grotto, their Global Head of Sales. And of course, as always, Johan Dreyer from Top Watch South Africa. Welcome, everyone. Max, Oliver, hi.
Hi, Roland. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. I want to dive right in because I'm so excited about your product and your brand and where everything's going. And I think we should start with what's been the buzzword in the watch industry for the last probably 5 or 6 years has been manufacture. And we've seen that shift a little bit over the last 24 months. The new buzzword seems to be independent or independence. What does it mean to you, Oliver, to be an independent watch manufacturer?
Well, I would say it's independence, but we're independent, we're family owned, and we're family run. And I think this makes the big difference, at least for us here. There are many aspects to being independent, family owned, and family run. The first one and most important for me is the long-term view. It's about the next 10, 20 years you try to organize your company. It's not about having the right numbers by the end year, of course, that's also important. But in terms of design and where you want to head, it's this long-term view. It's also about the responsibility and the mindset. It's in the end, it's me who's responsibility. So you can say this is a good aspect or bad aspect, but it's somebody who has to give the right platforms to everybody so they can work. So all my colleagues, they need to have the machinery, they need to have the knowledge, etc., to provide and to propel to what we want to finally achieve. So I think this is a very important, this mindset we have here. It's not an 8 to 5 environment we're working here in. I'm talking about all my colleagues. They're all entrepreneurial to some extent. And I think this shows also when we talk to Massimiliano, Max here next to me. He's available 7/24, and this makes the big difference.
I think you're absolutely right. And Johan, I think you can echo the same sentiments in Top Watch as well. Being a privately owned, family-run business does give you the opportunity to hire people who are quick thinkers, quick on the ground, happy to move and evolve with times. It was interesting, I had a chat with Patrick Hoffman recently, and he mentioned to me the thing that attracted him most to Chronoswiss and the reason he's involved with you as a mentor there. Quite a nice name to have associated with the brand as well, of course. But he said that it was the watchmakers and the watchmaking, and I can see right behind you in what looks like a big glass bubble there. It seems to be quite central, not hidden at the back of your operations. What influence does working so closely in such a small company with your watchmakers have on Chronoswiss? What sort of culture have you created there?
Well, it is this creativity, this freedom of creativity. It's about speaking to each other. It's about sharing ideas. It's a very open culture, and it really, I must say, I enjoy coming to work every day and speaking to my friends here, coming up with new ideas. This creativity is also the mindset. I think this is what attracted him to Chronoswiss, and also our modern mechanical approach, producing a watch that is unique, I'd say, to the watch world, because maybe not everybody knows who's watching us, but we really have this approach of old tech and new tech. So we do the Guilloche watch or the Guilloching on a 100-year-old machine, and this is really our key. We do this to the highest quality possible, like they did it 100 or 200 years ago. But then we combine this old tech with today's world, giving it different colors and patterns, having designs that are speaking to today's people. And I think this is the USP that also attracted Patrick, and where we talk a lot about. It's this combination of mastercraft and these new ideas that we try to combine in modern mechanical.
We see it in your product. It's very interesting to me that Chronoswiss is a reasonably young brand in a Swiss watchmaking sense, certainly so. But we do see a respect for historical traditions and artistic works on your watches, but then very much, like you say, a modern mechanical approach as to how that's presented to your customer. And it definitely shines through. Max, if I can steal you back on screen there, I want to say congratulations. You guys have been included in Watches and Wonders for Geneva 2021. You're amongst some rather prestigious company there. The 38 brands presenting are unbelievable. We're all very excited to see it. To date, this video, I think for everybody else, that's next week, where you guys will be presenting your new novelties for 2021 and the plans that you have going forward. Max, to you, what is the standout piece that you're going to be releasing this year? What, out of the new lineup, what excites you most?
Good. I mean, let's say we are, first of all, very honored to be part of the Watches and Wonders. As you said, there are only 38 brands there. So to be in this exclusive club gives great credibility to our work, to our philosophy. And it's not so easy to be there, but it means that we have a reason to play in the watchmaking industry. So this is very important for us. We are going to present different novelties. So not only one piece or two pieces, so there will be several novelties. It will be mostly line extensions. So it means that the lines that we developed in the last couple of years are working well. And so there will be some good surprises that Oliver and the team will introduce to the world. So we are excited, and let's see what comes. If I have to pick up one watch for myself, then I have my favorite one. So if you're happy, I can quickly introduce this to you.
I would love that. Please and thank you. Some hornback alligator. Oh, and there's the green.
So the name of the watch is Open Gear Reset Paraíba. So Paraíba, as you know, is a tourmaline that comes from the region Paraíba, so from Brazil. Basically, it's a very expensive stone. I got trained by our designer, Mike Panciera, and it's a very expensive stone. That said, it's a kind of stone that changed the color, or there are different colors and shades of Paraíba. It goes from green to blue to even a kind of violet. So when Mike designed and created this timepiece, it is a beautiful hand-guilloche dial. And when he saw the color coming out, he said, this is a Paraíba, because it includes really all the different shades of this stone, which is beautiful. And I picked up this watch for the main reason that it's a modern mechanical. So it's a clear example of what Oliver was saying. It's our philosophy and mindset to create modern mechanical timepieces. So here you have, of course, a traditional watchmaking handicraft, which is the guillotine and the hand guillotine, but with the new interpretation, with the modern interpretation. So you have, of course, the beautiful hand guilloche dial, but you have this TVD coating, which makes the uniqueness of these color changes and different shadows of beautiful watch. Then, of course, you have our regulator, which is a key point for us. You have the three-dimensional dial. So it's what Oliver says, modern techniques and modern interpretation of traditional watchmaking. And to combine these two aspects is not so easy. You must be elegant, you must be balanced. And that's why this is my preferred timepiece, I would say. It's limited to 50 pieces worldwide. Another concept, another key message of Chronoswiss. So it's a watch not for everyone. It's for people that really appreciate the beauty of our timepieces and they understand the handicraft behind this. Absolutely stunning. I think you guys have hit the nail on the head there. That dial just combines so many different aspects of watchmaking. It almost does a fume sort of burst from the center, but those colors under that UV light, to be able to create such a classic dress watch, but still have such legibility with the superluminova at night as well. Absolutely brilliant. Oliver, when it comes to designing a range at Chronoswiss, what is the process there? Are you led by market trends? I mean, I don't think so much with you guys that's the case, because otherwise everything would be
steel sports watches with an integrated bracelet. Glad to see somebody's doing something different. Or are you led by the history of the company, or is it more innovative? What's your process like there? Is it all three?
You could, as you mentioned, I think it's mainly history, and I wouldn't call it innovation. I would call it freedom of creativity. Innovation. Everybody's doing innovation. We have our creativity, and we do what we like as a family company. So it's these two mainly. And then, of course, you have market trends, but the market trend is what we get back from our customers. And if they like it, we push forward into this direction. So it's a combination, as you say. I think most important, it's about humbleness. It's about who you are, and it's also where you're coming from. That's a bit our aspect when we look at design. So it's about keeping your DNA, preserving where you're coming from. So the history is important, but then at the same time taking it to the next level, doing things differently. As I mentioned before, I think you want to have a story, a history to the watch. You want to know where it comes from, and you want to have a watch that is different to anything else. That's what we're producing here. Yeah, I think that's in a nutshell what concerns the design. And
I think you can be rightly proud of the product you're putting out there. World-class, industry leading, and very well received by the consumers. I can tell you from our end, every time we get to show a Chronoswiss, it's the breathtaking pieces, and it's true exclusivity. You can't search Chrono24 and find 1,001 model available for resale on the market with 30 to 50 watches produced. It really is. It offers true exclusivity to me, which is a part of what forms luxury, is that exclusivity aspect as well.
Ron, these are very good words. I will give this back to my team because they are at least as much responsible for what we're doing here than myself. So these words are well taken. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time today, gentlemen. Enjoy the show. We're sorry we couldn't be there with you this year. Obviously, things are still quite restricted. Max, before we go, off the product line now, but on a little bit more to how you're feeling the global market moving. 2020 was very interrupted. Were there some markets that still managed to perform, and first quarter of 2021 is done? How's it going? Are there any particular areas that are showing signs of recovery or growth for you?
Well, 2020 was for sure a challenging year. This is clear for everyone. To be honest with you, if we take away the disaster healthy-wise worldwide, it was not a big change in our approach to the markets and to the people. We are a small, independent family business, so we love the personal approach, and that's why even in 2020 we could go through. I cannot say super well, but we went through these tough times in a reasonable way. We were able to consolidate the main markets, Europe, namely Germany, Switzerland, Portugal, and started quite strongly also in UK. For sure, we suffered a little bit in Asia because it was mainly Japan, which is one of the most important markets for us. But it's also because they grew very fast in the last 2-3 years. So they cannot always grow in a double digit. So on the West, we could realign our business model for US, which is anyway reference market. So we are right now with key partners, selected key partners. Mexico is still a very strong market. And in 2020, we were also able to open new markets, which is also a good sign. So for our niche brands, it means that even in tough times, we can still find people that believe in the potential of the brand. And for example, Kuwait, which is not a huge market, but we started quite well. And also we started with you in South Africa. So just before Christmas. So we really need to work with people. And you have the team, you have the structure, you have the knowledge to represent Chronoswiss in South Africa. So I believe, and you maybe can confirm, that there is already a good interest on Chronoswiss in South Africa, even in the first quarter of the year.
Absolutely. Our response has been brilliant, and I'm glad to hear that, like us, even through troubled times, you are growing and expanding. It's wonderful news. Gentlemen, thank you. Keep making those truly exclusive wristwatches. And to all of our listeners, don't forget to like and subscribe. Visit www.topwatch.com to view our exclusive Chronoswiss range. We're always available for a Zoom call or an in-store appointment. Thank you.